Oh my gosh, my microphone wasn't on. I am repping the Woodby Island Coffee Company is what I said because their coffee is amazing. Um, if you ever go to Woodby Island, you should try their coffee because it's literally like my favorite coffee. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about mindset. So if you ever stalled on your weight loss journey and are wondering like what is happening, it's time to look beyond the scale and really look internally at the mind and see what's going on because there's probably mental blocks that are holding you back. So, this we're going to be talking about it in terms of diet and exercise, of course, because that is mainly what this channel is focused on is diet, exercise, and self-concept. Um, but I think that this can apply to multiple areas in your life. So if you are noticing some of these things happening in certain areas, I think it's good to take a dive into and to really look at that a little bit more. So, one way that we can have some mental blocks is by our own limiting beliefs and our self doubt. So, if deep down you're telling yourself that you can't do this, I don't know how to do this, I'll never be strong enough, I always quit before I see results, then you're probably not going to see the things that you want or the changes that you want in your life. Because the more that we repeat these thoughts, the more that our brain believes them, and the stronger those neural pathways are getting. And we really want to build good neural pathways. That's why on Thursday, our affirmations day is like something that we should be doing every single day. We want to be reinforcing really good thoughts in our head, reinforcing those positive thoughts about ourselves, and really question any limiting beliefs. Like I can't do this. I always fail. Well, why do we always fail? Like let's dig into that a little bit more. What is it that always holds us back? Like really being curious on those or of those areas, I should say. The other thing is stress and negative self-talk. So stress is the silent progress killer, like a heart attack is the silent killer. Chronic stress and high cortisol levels can really affect our hormones. And when we're dealing with our hormones, it can do a lot of things to our body. Not only preventing really good sleep, it can mess with how we're eating, and it can mess with how our energy levels are. So we can feel really drained when we have chronic stress. And when we have all these things functioning in the body, it often makes us feel bad about ourselves and we can have negative self talk from that stuff. So when we have these hormone imbalances that are impacting different areas of our life, it can make it harder for us to lose weight or stick to a plan. And then we can have really negative self talk like, I'm failing. Why am I even trying? I suck. I'll never lose the weight. All of that kind of stuff. It just reinforces our own self sabotage. So we definitely want to pay attention to our stress levels. And then fear of failure. And I think this one is so good. Hang on, let me turn this off. I don't know if you can hear it, but turn it off. Um, this is really good to pay attention to in multiple areas of our life because if you're afraid to push harder because you might fail, that is something really good to know. Or maybe you're scared to, let's say, go heavier at the gym because what if you can't lift it? Or maybe you don't even want to go to the gym because you're worried about not knowing how to use a machine and you're afraid of looking stupid. Um, Maybe you hesitate on a commitment to weight loss because what if you don't follow through? Fear of failure really keeps us stuck in inaction. And it's funny because sometimes when we have that fear of failing, we're really failing ahead of time because we're not even trying in the first place. So it's really good to look at other ways to embrace growth, even when it might be messy or it might look messy. So, how do you break through this mental block? So, reframe setbacks. Instead of seeing plateaus as proof that you're failing, See them as part of the process. Your body is adapting, your mind is learning, growth happens in the struggle. Like, I don't know of any time that when I caught on to something really quickly that I remembered it. It's always in those really epic fails or those failures at work when you're learning a new job and somebody gets really mad at you for something, you like never do that thing again. And it's the same in any aspect of our life. When we aren't doing it properly or when we fail at it and we really remember that time and it helps us grow. So I think embracing any of those setbacks and plateaus are normal in weight loss. They don't even mean you're not losing weight. They could be your body holding on to water, it could be stress. Um, there's so many different hormonal functions. So the scale is like the worst way, honestly, for me to track progress. Um, you can definitely get like different scans and things like that, or do measurements, or how do your clothes fit? Do you feel lighter? Do you feel looser? Those are ways that I like to measure it, unless I am, looking to lose a great amount in some certain time. Like I want to lose like 20 pounds and um, I'm giving myself like 6 months. Then of course, sorry, my dog's eating a bone and it sounded like he was choking. Um, but of course, you're going to be like measuring that probably weekly or every 2 weeks just to make sure that or if you have a challenge at work or something like that, you're going to be probably looking at that progress to make sure that you're maintaining it. But these like little weeks or twos that we don't we maybe we have up or down really doesn't mean a lot of things. Like if we're being consistent, we're staying on our plan and we know we're in a deficit and a calorie deficit, and that means that we are literally burning more energy than we're expending. So some people say they're in a deficit, but they're not in a deficit unless you are burning more calories than you're expending. And the only way to know that is to really like either go get a health scan and see where your markers are at and verify how much you're eating per day and like writing it down, or doing like the calculation on yourself and then sustaining that exact calorie amount. I mean, it's pretty hard for you to just like know it intuitively eating. Um, Jeez. Eisen, you okay? Can you slow down? I gave him one of those marrow bones and I don't know. Sounds like, you joking, buddy? You good? He's so cute. Anyways, so yeah, it's like definitely I would be measuring it, um, doing actual measurements or doing a couple different things. Sometimes even photos are good because you can see the little changes in photos that you won't see normally if you're like just looking at the scale or looking at yourself in the mirror every day. There's a lot of things that you're not going to really see unless you take a picture. But with that said, plateaus are totally normal and I wouldn't freak out about a plateau. And like I said, if it's not like water retention or anything like that, you would just slowly like work through that. But you can also take a look at like, how has your workouts been? How has your diet been? All these different factors that can come into play when there's a plateau. But as long as you're being consistent and being smart about the thing. So if your plateau is lasting a couple months, then it's like, all right, well, you probably are needing to either have a calorie surplus and start working on building muscle or go down in calories and work from there. But if you've already been um, working on low calories and then hit a plateau and it's not sustainable to go any lower, I wouldn't go any lower. I would work on building my metabolism up, incorporating a little bit more calories, and probably training my muscles a little bit harder. But, anyways, moving on. Um, Catch and replace negative thoughts. So, as I was talking about earlier, every time we catch ourselves thinking, I can't do this, stop and ask, is this actually true? What if you can? But we've just never given ourselves the chance when we are saying, like, I can't do that, I can't do this. Then you're not even like giving yourself the opportunity to prove yourself wrong. And maybe you have given yourself the opportunity and maybe you failed the first time, but we can think like, okay, well, what variables happened and how can we change those? How can we work to like change or shift the way we went about it the first time? Because we don't want to definitely repeat the exact same thing and get the exact same results. That's the definition of insanity. We want to take a look at it and see, well, how did we do it before? What didn't get us the results? What could we tweak this time? And then focus on who you're becoming, shifting your mindset to from I have to lose weight to I'm someone who takes care of my body. And I love, love, love this shift. I cannot stand thinking or hearing, honestly, like I have to lose weight or I want to lose weight or any of that. I think that it's so much better to set a goal for yourself and say, I want to run a 5K or I want to lift X amount on a bench press or a squat. I think that that is so, for one, it's so much more empowering. It gets your brain so much more focused on the task. And so instead of looking at the scale and criticizing ourselves and counting every calorie and being really hyper focused on these things that once we get more used to having more mental awareness and our mindset shifts, we're able to really use it in our food and also in our exercise because we're doing things for our body that make it happy and we're doing things for our health. Um, but it's just I just think that it's an amazing way to think about it. So if you are wanting to lose weight, I encourage having an actual goal instead of like, I want to lose 10 pounds by this date. I would say, I want to run X amount, or I want to jog X amount, or I want to bike X amount, or I want to lift X amount, or I want to be consistent with a training program, not exercise, but actual training. Because when we exercise, we just kind of do whatever and we're not really focused on what we're doing. We're just, and I think that that's great. If you want to go into the gym and burn calories, that's great. But I just really think it's good to have an actual plan where you're like, I want to build muscle in these areas of my body. And so this is how I'm going to do it. Because when you're going into the gym and you're randomly doing stuff, you're not really, I mean, some people might be building muscle depending on what they're doing. Some people that are beginners could build muscle pretty quickly because of the how the body is adapting. And if you're not used to doing that, it can adapt quicker. But if you're used to doing exercises and you're not seeing results and you're used to physical things, then you're probably not looking at your plan very good. And you need to like restructure the way you're working out. And I think that that's really important to pay attention to. And so I think that that's why I personally think it's great to have a like physical goal in mind. Um, and even if it's like I'm going to work out 4 days a week and I'm going to be focused on building this and this muscle group and then maintaining the rest. Because when we're building muscle groups, we're incorporating a lot more exercises and sets per week than you would if you're not. So I think that those are the ways that I think it's good to look at it, but everybody can look at it however they want. I just would encourage you to pay attention to how you feel when you say I have to lose weight versus I want to accomplish X amount of reps and weight on my squats or whatever it is. Um, I just feel like it's more empowering and it gets the brain to focus on like this is what I need to do. This is how I need to hit these muscle groups in order to build this big muscle group and these areas to help. And then from there, like you're going into the gym with that intention. And I think when we go into the gym without intention, that's when we exercise. We're just going there and burning calories, basically. And I think it's really good to have intention in a lot of things that you do, especially with your goals. And if your goal is to lose weight, what kind of intention is behind that when you go into the gym? Uh-oh. All right. Well, that is all I have for you today. I hope that your mindset gets shifted by something that I said today. And if not, well, there's always tomorrow. But anyways, pay attention to what your thoughts are, how your thoughts are when you're in these goal setting modes and when you are really looking at your fitness and diet plans and pay attention to how the words make you feel. Like I said, if you want to lose weight, like what does that feel like in your body? And what kind of words can you use if it doesn't feel very good that will help you get to where you want to go? And if you need any other help, please reach out to me. And if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below. Have a great day. Happy Monday.